and peace from God the Father and from our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen. There are many things that God tried to impress upon we who are parents. And this is by far, of all of the windows, the boldest statement that God makes about the responsibility that we have as parents and the importance that we have as a church when it comes to our children. Everything about this window shows that the children are not more important than the parents. That the children are not the focus of our lives from the aspect of we do everything for them and ignore our own needs. It does just the opposite. It shows that our children need something that only the Father can give them. That our children are individuals born into this world with original sin, which is, by the way, also proclaimed in this window. So that our children need to be taught, guided, directed, and informed by us as parents and as a church. We are not to leave their judgments up to themselves. We are not to leave their education up to themselves. We are not to let them make the decisions about when they are taught or not taught. We are to guide and direct them with the most remarkable gift given to man, which is the understanding of the grace of the Father through the cross. Everything about this window is set up to teach us that. To teach we as parents and we as a church to focus on our children's spiritual education so that we put our children in the right place. Our children are to be here, and we are here. There is an authority being shown here, and it is a remarkable understanding that God gives us. And it's being done so that we as a church, we as individuals, know what the grace of God is about and why He has done what He has done. Now, there is way too much to deal with again. Just way too much. This tonight is very important. We have 12 here and 12 here with 3 read. This is an emphasis of the Old Testament and New Testament, and that it is through the blood of Christ that all believers are saved. It is done on both sides. It is to emphasize the reality of where our salvation comes from. On this side, we have 4 blues that are exactly the same. Blue always points to this understanding of heaven and the comfort of heaven and the reality of why the Father has given it. This is based upon, and it's different than it's been in the other windows, because this is showing that all salvation lies right under Christ. There's a little uniqueness. I've spent a whole lot of time trying to find out the exact image of the symbol inside each of the bells. This is for the Trinity. Each of these little symbols has 3 parts. So it's re-emphasizing the triune God. But this symbol means something that I cannot find. I looked at 12,000 symbols and could not find it. And it was a little depressing. But the message that is given here in the halo is, this is the triune God in the presence of His people. This is the one from the yellow and the gold that says, opens up the gate to heaven. This is showing in this picture that Christ is the one who gives everything to His people. We have, again, the 7 different figures. This is the same as last week because it points to the fact that Christ gives life. If you look, this is the most unique of any of them so far because there is green everywhere. And the green shows that it is Christ alone who brings life to the world. And everywhere you look, there is green being shown to re-emphasize the fact that Christ is the one who brings life into His people. Now, we can deal with some specifics, which just overwhelm me. This is brown. The flowers are dead. This is green underneath it, but these flowers are dead. They're brown colored. There's a few places where you'll see brown. And where the brown is, the brown always represents a spiritual death. It is down very little and very small because it's showing that in the presence of Christ, amidst all the sin that they carry, Christ reduces it down and removes it. That's why her having this brown And her having this crown is a reference to us of the Lord has the only solution to remove the spiritual death that is upon us. And he does it through his Son and through his blood. There are 3 red flowers, which always amazes me how they did this. This points to the only place of redemption is through the Father, Son, and Spirit, especially through the blood of Christ. There are 4 whites here, reference to the fact that Christ came into the world in order to redeem the world. There is 4 petals that are tied to this one flower to again announce that heaven is open through the one Savior, Christ. There are 3 here which point to the Trinity, and there are 3 here which point to the Trinity. Everything being done is to show that this is a God who has redeemed the world. We have the Lord having 7 bowls right underneath his chin, showing that it is the unity of heaven and earth that brings salvation into our life. Everything is being set up so that we understand who and what Jesus is. We have two little purple buildings. This little purple one right here, and this little purple one right here. This one represents the tomb of our Lord. This represents the temple. They are in the background. They are clear far away, because that's not where he is right now. Right now is where he's coming to, is he's showing us that life comes from him and his personal touch of we who are sinners, which is the whole message that comes across boldly in this. This little guy right here, it's remarkable, because he is being used as a symbol to us of what takes place when we have Christ reach down to touch us. Every one of these is a cross. It is a medieval cross. It is a medieval cross that points us to the fact that we are surrounded in the glory of God, and it would take place on the cross. So this little boy represents by this gold color with the cross that this is the only means of salvation. There is no other. God chooses us, God grants it to us, it all comes to us through the cross. His purple sash is to show that he has been given this remarkable place, this remarkable understanding of the royalty of Christ. And this little child is reaching up, and the Lord is reaching down to him. And it's done purposely. He cannot reach up and grab the Lord. The Lord has to reach down to grab a hold of him. This one is showing that the Lord carries us, and that his love for us is so deep and so great that he covers us in his righteousness. That's why this is to be a white robe, and demonstrating that when Christ holds us, he covers us with his own holiness, and we are secure in our salvation. This child has nothing else, because we bring nothing to the Lord. So the Lord grants everything. And it's why there is nothing else given to this child. It is a very simple perspective to demonstrate that it is the grace of God alone that brings life and salvation to we who are sinners. Now, this lady is an Israelite. She has multi-colors. It's to show that she has been given the promises of the Scripture, and the Scriptures are remarkable. But at the same time, it's demonstrating this remarkable humanness. She has this brown and brown. She is covered with this sin, and she is covered with the judgment, except when she looks to the one, and that's why her glare, if you look, is looking right to the Lord for her salvation. The blue shows that she has this comfort and knowledge of heaven. She has this yellow, which shows that the gates of heaven is something that she has been promised. This is a headdress that is both kind of gray and kind of white, because the perfection that God is going to grant to her is not complete yet. But her whole trust and everything that she has got on, and all that she is looking, points right to the one who grants it to her. We have this little boy. He's dressed in purple, showing that he understands the royalty of which he is trying to give this bunch of flowers. The flowers have 4 blue flowers in it, has 4 red flowers in it, and at the bottom, which there should be 8, there are only 7 stems. So that what God is relaying to us is, he's opened up heaven, he's covered us with his blood, And he has bound all of earth to himself, because that's what the Father does through this gift, unites heaven and earth. I find it remarkable, the imagery that comes in just this little flower and the number of steps. It's amazing what our Lord does. This little boy has the same kind of hair that this little boy has, and the same kind of hair as this little boy. Not this one. He's different. This lady is a Samaritan. How do we know? The image is done with an earring. Israelite women did not wear earrings. Not in this context. It is gold. It is a common understanding. It is gold not because it shows that this is a precious thing from God. It is gold to show that what she was bound in before she looked to the Lord. Her child, if you see, she is having her hand wrapped around her child because the child is reaching out to God. It's demonstrating this is the baby. It's why it's from Luke 18. Luke 18, or maybe it's 19. 18. It says, and they were bringing their babies to him that he might touch them. That's the purpose that we have here. That this child, this little child, touched by the Lord's grace, being touched by God, could have faith. This is proclaiming to us this remarkable thing that children believe by being touched by God. Children don't believe because they are innocent when they come into this world. They believe because they're touched by the Lord. And we know that means through baptism, which, by the way, is why the child is covered in white. To point us to the means by which God brings salvation to his people. There's a subtlety about stained glass windows that when I was studying it, I was amazed. We know as a church, we know as people, these stained glass windows can be easily destroyed. We know that so much that we have them covered on the outside by some very strong glass. But the purpose of them making it this way and people being knowledge is showing that we as human beings are fragile. And that without the grace of God, we just crumble apart and fall. And without the truth of the Word, without the truth behind these windows, it means absolutely nothing. The second thing that the stained glass windows were always being taught by the people at that time, especially in the medieval time, they said when the light comes through the window, it shows the beauty of how God sees our soul. So each of the stained glass windows, every time we look at them with the light shining through, is to remind us of what he has done in his transformation of us to make us holy and precious. Now, it is amazing to me how this whole perspective has been given to us so that we understand the value that our Lord gives to each of these children. Because it is to impress upon us there is nothing more important in our lives, nothing more vital in our children's lives, than that they are taught about this one who is the Redeemer. If you haven't noticed, there are no men bringing their children. Because it is an unfortunate truth, and this is why the window was done this way. I disagree with it somewhat, but I still have to be honest. It was done this way because too many men don't take the responsibility of teaching their children. It's been left up to the mothers way too often. That's not how God intended it. So by the very absence of men, we are supposed to be smacked as men and say, it is our responsibility to share the truth. Do I agree with that concept of whoever put this together? Not fully, but it is the purpose of it. Because there are numerous windows made of the Lord saying, suffer the children to come unto me. And there are men as well as their wives. This had a different purpose in this window. And has some truth. I just disagree with it on a number of premises. And I have a right to, somebody else's opinion. Now, up here is a chalice. This chalice this time is green. Because what it's impressed upon us is Our life comes from our Lord. We have each of these, more and more, each of these leaves point us to the fact that this is the one who brings life to us all. Now, the last thing, which just overwhelms me to death. In Greek class, the first thing they taught us was what is called Cairo. It's the first two letters. One's the letter of Jesus and the other is the letter of Christ. That's what's down through here. The symbol is, this is the Messiah, 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 this is the Messiah. Everything in the bottom of this row points us to the fact that this is the Messiah. Then up here, these are different. Up here, it is truly a medieval cross. Because during that time, a number of people were crucified on crosses that were made in X's, and then they were crucified. And so, this is showing that this was an instrument of death, but he is the one who brought life. So when you look at this window completely, it just demonstrates this remarkable message of salvation given by our Lord, and that he touches our children, because he says, unless you come to me as a child, meaning you trust in him alone, there is no hope. It isn't about arrogance, it's not about wisdom, it's not about your position. It's about the Spirit through the Word transforming your heart. This lady, a Samaritan, a Gentile, points to each of us, and that's why we are saved, because the Lord has taken his message and his people, and he has now made us his own. It is a remarkable window that proclaims the grace of our God. May he always lead us to understand that grace and to continue to share it, especially with our children.